Before we begin tonight's program, here's a quick message from JPU Media. Do you own a business, offer a professional service, or an upcoming event? Promote your brand to the JPU global audience with our affordable advertising package. Just $150 for one full week of promotion during our live broadcast. JPU Media also provides professional editing and proofreading services. If you have a document, article, manuscript, business proposal, or other written material that needs grammatical correction and refinement, we can help you present it clearly and professionally. We also offer private consultations for individuals and organizations seeking political advising or guidance with media strategy, messaging, and public engagement. To advertise your business, request editing services, or schedule a consultation, contact JPU Media using the contact information provided. 561-568-6025 via WhatsApp. Let JPU Media help you strengthen your message, expand your reach, and connect with the right audience. And now, let's begin tonight's program.
Bad mind will allow people to tell lie on you.
I am Dr. Dayton Campbell, General Secretary of the People's National Party.
Insecurity will allow people to tell lie on you.
I made statements on the political platform, which upon later reflection,
When they think that you are gifted and they see that you're anointed, talented, and their position could be at, they will tell lie on you.
as connecting the Honorable Darrell Vaz to the murder of Diane Smith, as well as an alleged plot to assassinate the then leader of the opposition, Mr. Andrew Holness.
Lord God.
I hereby unequivocally withdraw the statements I made.
If they think that you're occupying the position that they should be in, even though they are not qualified, they will tell lie on you.
Because to the best of my knowledge, the statements and/or innuendos and insinuations contained therein have no foundation in truth and are in fact categorically false.
Jesus.
Hello and good night, Jamaica. Good night, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for joining another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, tonight I am pleased to bring you this broadcast because I have been saying, what has the government done the last 365 days? We're almost there. Today is August 21st, 2026. And in just a few days, we're going to be at that 365 since the Jamaica Labour Party formed the government. So I went and did my own research and I had to clutch my pearls because I couldn't believe that the government had so much going, which they have not really put out there, but that's okay, you know. So I want you guys to join me tonight. Make sure that you hit the like button when you come in, that you're subscribed if you have not subscribed here, and that you share this with someone so that they can come and hear some real news, some good news. You know, over here we deal with substance and we deal with truth and we deal with credibility. So this broadcast tonight is important, should be important to you as well. So let us have a chat, guys. Let me know in the chat where you are watching from. Thank you. Good night to our moderators. Let me see if they're here. Good night to TikTok. I'm live on TikTok as well. Good night, TikTok. Pick up on yourself. Make sure so not screen record this, okay? Because I'm going to be going through it all. Let us see. On YouTube, we have Chinman, good night. We have Andrea. Good night, Miss Andrea. Soul by Charmaine. Sandra. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, I'm a little late tonight. Good night, moderator. I see you. Hey. But, you know, it's a Friday night. And whenever I'm coming on, I mostly think about our audience in Jamaica. Good night, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. George, hi, welcome. Florida, I see you. I mostly think about our audience in Jamaica. This program is for Jamaica. So I know that in the US, we're 1 hour ahead of Jamaica. So sometimes I don't feel so bad if I come on at like, say, 9:30 or something, because I know it's just 8:30. You know, big up our friends them who are in Beverly Hills, different parts of Kingston, St. Andrew, Manchester, St. Mary, Jesus, Westmoreland, big up on yourself. The only place me not, you know what, me not gonna say that. Me not gonna say the only place me not big up as such parish, but I'm not gonna do that because we have people in every parish across Jamaica listening to us. So I don't want to get us in trouble tonight, right? So it is a Friday night, guys, and we're gonna be here a while because based on what I came back with, it's a lot. Okay. And I did say over here that I believe that the government shouldn't wait until the end of their term to put out what them do, you know. Come with it now. You understand? Me not really like the last minute business. Cause we need time for study and see what go on. Right? Clarendon, good night. Yes. Albany, New York, good evening. Mandeville, yes. Beautiful Mandeville. Hi, Carol. Welcome back. Walaba. And I got a message for a member of parliament. One of them people them write me and, you know, when the people them send the information come, I got to tell it. Okay? First and foremost, I want to acknowledge our Minister of Gender, Culture, and Entertainment, Miss Babsy Grange. For those of you who know me, you know that I have always been passionate about the safety and security of women, the well being of women. And wherever there's a dangerous situation or unhealthy or unsafe situation for women, we have to step out and we have to jump into action. The minister announced today that they have opened the third women's shelter. Women who want to flee domestic violence with their children and all these things, the government has opened another shelter. And this is good for gender issues. Domestic violence is a big thing. You know, we had women, about 3 straight years, we had women being unalived domestically. So this is good to see. So let me add my moderator in the chat over YouTube. Good night, my moderator. Yes, so YouTube, tonight we're talking about, not YouTube, sorry, TikTok. Tonight we're talking about everything that the government has done so far since they've been in office. Okay, that is the topic over here. We're almost at the 365-day mark. All right. And guys over TikTok, I think we're supposed to tap up the screen and there's something there, right? Moderator, you deal with that part, my love, because you know me not 200 pan apart there.
Yeah, and we want you guys to repost, guys. When you repost the live, you share it with your friends. So if you can just send a heart me, join the club, and repost, we would appreciate that. All right.
Yes, thank you, moderator. Moderator mute. We're there for a while tonight. All right, so let us go. So, you know, the Jamaica Labour Party formed the government on last year, September, almost a year ago. And tonight, the question is, what has the government actually done since the 2025 election? 1 year later, 365 days almost, promises, laws, and performance. So the Jamaica Labour Party won 35 of 63 constituencies in the election. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was sworn in September 16th with an 18-member cabinet, and the new parliament opened on September 18th. The administration reorganized several portfolios, and that includes the Ministry of National Security and Peace, Ministry responsible for efficiency, innovation, and digital transformation, portfolios focus on land titling and settlements, expanded climate, water, and environmental responsibilities. We saw some of these in the manifesto as well, right? Science, technology, and special projects. Well, what did we know? Hurricane Melissa, Category 5, struck Jamaica on October 28th, less than a month after the government was sworn in, or just over a month. And that substantially changed the government's program and their financial priorities. So, the first thing that I think of when I think of the last 365 is what legislation passed, right? We've heard about NARA, we've heard about the criminal rehab and expungement. We heard about several different things, but I'm going to go through them just a little more meticulous. So I think we better start at NARA because that was the last thing that was passed before the parliament went on recess. We know that the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority Act passed in the parliament with a majority. We know that every member of parliament on the opposition side voted against it. On April 29th is when it passed. And I think it was debated and also passed the Senate in May 8th, on May 8th of 2026. And that bill basically establishes a central authority, to coordinate the Hurricane Melissa reconstruction. And the act provides for central coordination, like I said, and accelerate procurement and approval procedures and cabinet approval of the projects placed under the NARA, the auditing, reporting, and parliamentary oversight, and a limited reconstruction mandate rather than a permanent, unrestricted agency. So this is why a lot of people, including myself, are puzzled as to why the opposition PNP would have voted against something like this. They also passed or made some cybercrimes amendment, and that amendment act cleared the House and the Senate, and its provisions include stronger penalties for cyber offenses involving children. And that ranges from minor abuse to the very extreme, which I will not repeat here, but you guys can put one and one together. Penalties of up to 20 years for certain offenses against minors, expanding the offense involving intimate material from merely sending it to publishing it. Just recently, a TikToker's daughter was put out there underage, and the government and the police had to remind people that this is illegal. You can go to prison for this. And this is why we have channels like this one, because a lot of people, we live in a time now where when members of parliament go do them work, and there's a piece of legislation or amendment, they don't go back to their constituents and talk to them. It's not that type of politics. They don't have town hall meetings with their constituents to educate them and tell them This is what we passed or amended today. And that's why a lot of people are so ignorant to the law. That's something that we should start doing. I don't understand what Jamaican politicians are doing to communicate with their constituents and with their people. And this is something that should be examined and fixed, not just on one side, but I'm talking about everybody. So, where this Child Protection Act is concerned, it establishes that a person under 18 cannot consent to the publication of such material. Criminalization can happen, and that provision is made under certain cybercrime tools and infrastructure. While the government is at it, I would add that they need to raise the age of consent, because if somebody under 18 cannot consent to certain material, which we know what that is, then it doesn't make sense that we have the age of consent at 16 still, right? So that's two pieces of legislation and amendment so far that I've mentioned. You also had the Jury Act amendments, right? The Jamaica Parliament amended the Jury Act clear by both chambers, and it raises the juror compensation from 2,000 Jamaican dollars to 6,000 per day. It provides 2,000 Jamaican dollars to people summoned who attend but are not selected. It does not include the initial proposed jury tampering provisions, and those were withdrawn to further consideration. For those of you who ever serve on a jury, you know say is a whole day's work that you know. So whatever you make, you really don't want to go sit somewhere and either be drafted or serve on a jury for free. It's important that you get paid. So that's good, from $2,000 to $6,000. We have also the Financial Investigations Division Amendment, which is FID, and the FID amendment cleared the House and Senate, and it clarifies and expands the division's authority to exchange information with Jamaica public bodies, foreign financial intelligence units, international associations of financial intelligence agencies. We also had the Disaster Reserve Fund amendments. The Parliament approved that to the Financial Administration and Audit Act, removing the 10 billion Jamaican dollar ceiling on the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund. The government said Melissa triggered approximately 115.7 billion Jamaican dollars in disaster related financial coverage, making the former ceiling impractical. We had the income tax and asset tax amendment. Parliament approved changes moving the final payment and filing deadline for certain income and asset tax obligations from March 15 to April 15, beginning with the 2025 year of assessment. The measure was presented as administrative and hurricane related relief. We had the NHT special withdrawal legislation. Both chambers approved legislation authorizing the government to withdraw 11.4 billion Jamaican dollars annually from the NHT for general budgetary support. The transfer cover 5 fiscal years from 26 to 27 through 30 to 31. A total potential transfer of 57 billion. The government cited the post-Melissa fiscal environment. So it's justified. The PNP them kinda did debate the government about it. But the thing is, sometimes when the opposition go to debate and talk about stuff, they don't remember that when they were in government and they had to make certain adjustments, they had to do the same thing. We remember the Portia Simpson Miller administration had to draw down on the NHT as well. We all remember that. And this is the kind of politics, the tit for tat. I wish that we could see a more productive, like Mr. Abrams said, Jamaica deserves better, a better opposition. The opposition that we have today, they're not productive at all. It's all about one-upsmanship and a tit for tat. It's juvenile, immature politics, and it doesn't really make sense. We also have a lot of road work. Just a few days ago, the Minister of Roads, yes, I can call him the Minister of Roads, Minister Nesta Morgan, he was on, I think he was on Emily Shields' program, and he was talking about all the road projects that the government has taken on. And let me just tell you, make no mistake about it. The government of Jamaica today, they're doing so many roads. We have not seen that in a long time. The Portia Simpson Miller administration was focused on, the highways. But when we talk about the main roads and the smaller roads, nobody has ever really taken that on to any degree that we're seeing today. And I know that in some parts of Jamaica, people may see it and all them care about is that Fidem Road need to get fixed. And we have to understand, you know, Jamaica's Jamaica's quite big. We're not like some island nation where long as we can see that work is going on, we should just be patient because at least you can see that there's work going on and it will get to you when the time is right than to not see any work at all. You understand? It is better to see work than to not see work at all. Wouldn't you guys agree with that? Um, the people over TikTok, I'm gonna ask you to come over YouTube. Please and thanks. Give me a break, YouTube.
Before we begin tonight's program, here's a quick message from JPU Media. Do you own a business, offer a professional service, or an upcoming event? Promote your brand to the JPU global audience with our affordable advertising package. Just $150 for one full week of promotion during our live broadcast. JPU Media also provides professional editing and proofreading services. If you have a document, article, manuscript, business proposal, or other written material that needs grammatical correction and refinement, we can help you present it clearly and professionally. We also offer private consultations for individuals and organizations seeking political advising or guidance with media strategy, messaging, and public engagement. To advertise your business, request editing services, or schedule a consultation, contact JPU Media using the contact information provided. 561 568 6025 via WhatsApp. Let JPU Media help you strengthen your message, expand your reach, and connect with the right audience. And now, let's begin tonight's program.
Yes, guys. Sorry about that. So I hope that our friends over on TikTok made it back with us. Yes. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to respond to something real quick. That's quite important. So, moderator, good night. Guys, make sure you're hitting up the like button. And let me see. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody. And I want to thank all our friends over here on the YouTube platform who are doing what we are out here doing. And you are engaging with our content. And I watch you guys' content too. I know the people who are, doing the right thing and helping to educate the public. So I want to say thank you guys. Um, and you guys are putting out, even some of you who just came on the scene, you're putting out some pretty good content. Don't get discouraged. Stay the course and keep doing what you're doing, because sometimes it takes time, for really, see things going at a different pace, right? So let us get back to it. For those of you who are just joining, please make sure that you hit the like button. And if you have not subscribed over here, you want to subscribe to this channel. So where were we? We were talking about the NHT. Yes? Yes. So both chambers approved this legislation authorizing the government. What did we say? 11.4 billion annually from the NHT for general budgetary support. And this is an obvious debate point is that withdrawing from the NHT, justified by the emergency that we were and are facing, and it does not weaken the institution's housing mandate. And that's what a lot of people are concerned about. And that's where credibility comes in, because when you have a government that has credibility and that you have confidence in, when they make certain moves and respond to certain things, you don't really feel panic. But a government where you don't have confidence in and that you don't trust to make important decisions, when they do things like that, you kind of get panic or you get anxious. I don't see it that way with this government. So yeah, the government also passed the Civil Aviation Amendment, and this is intended to modernize aviation safety and accident investigation arrangements and align Jamaican law with the Chicago Convention, including provisions concerning leased and chartered aircraft. We remember this being debated too. And I remember some opposition operatives were trying to use a conspiracy theory to say that Jamaica and the US was in something sinister. There was the Mediation Act, not yet through the full process, but the House passed the Mediation Act on July 14th. But the latest official report says it was still waiting for the Senate's consideration. And it possesses regulation and registration of mediators, licensing and mediation service providers, community and court directed mediation, a framework for international commercial mediation, implementation of the Singapore Convention on Mediation. It should be described as House passed legislation and not yet as a fully operational law, right? So the House's passage status of Hurricane Melissa response and reconstruction with NARA. A part of that, you also have the assessment of people's shelters and roofs and all kind of something. So a lot went on in our parliament, you know, with the disruption of the parliament by the opposition. Sometimes people miss these things, and that's why it's important that we have a House Speaker who keeps the House in order. You understand? So that we don't miss these most important legislation and amendments and these things that are going on. You understand? Good night, man of God. I see you. Thank you for joining. They also did the minimum wage. National minimum wage increased from 16,000 to 17,000 per 40-hour work week. And that became effective July 1st of 2026. We also remember that debate when the opposition said, well, it should be more, right? We remember when the opposition said, you promised to raise it to this amount. But those of us with common sense, we know that we had a devastating hurricane that caused a lot of things to change, to be delayed. We get it. We understand. So we're not going to be the ones to act ridiculous. And that's why I say today in our politics, what we have in the opposition is just a set of people who always are seeking to get a one-upsmanship. When they come and speak, it's nothing about what is logical and what is sensible. It's always an election campaign mode attitude, even when there are very serious issues in the country that the government must respond to. NARA is one of them, the hurricane recovery. They went right on ahead and voted against it as if we're still in election campaign mode, you know? So at this point in time, when Dr. Abraham said that Jamaica needs or deserves a better opposition, that's what we're talking about. Because these people think that being in opposition is campaigning against the government. And we have never seen that in our history. So we need an intelligent opposition. I agree with all the people who are saying it, whether it be people I like or don't like. But if we don't agree on anything, that we can agree on. Because an opposition is not supposed to sabotage our country, campaign against our government when they're doing what is right for the people. How can we trust an opposition who say they are a government in waiting when all we've ever seen them do is campaign against what is right for the people? They're going to pay dearly for that. But the people must be educated. The people must understand that they're doing this. And that's why I'm going to put it back on the MPs, especially the government MPs, who in this time should be having town hall meetings at the very least once a month with their constituents to educate them and tell them what is going on in the parliament so they will know. You understand? That is important. I'm telling you, the politics of Jamaica, it needs some change. I mean, where communicating with the people goes, it really needs some change. And I'm not going to say that there's one thing causing low voter turnout, but I highly believe that part of what causes low voter turnout is the lack of communication with our people. That's what I believe. So, 365 days later, 1 year later, the government of Jamaica, they have hit the ground running. I think the first real break the government had since they came in and since everybody came in is the break that they're on now, the recess they're on now. Aside from the minimum wage, yes, there was also the land titling. The government reported distributing 1,000 titles by June of this year, with a target of 5,000 titles during the fiscal year, approximately 4,000 surveys underway. A revised national building code was being prepared to require structures to withstand Category 5 hurricanes, supported by stronger inspection, compliance, and penalty provisions. And this remains a planned reform rather than a completed national retrofit building code announcement, right? There's also the health and social policy, and the administration has established an international health worker recruitment unit. Just a few days ago, we were talking about that over here about the culture of healthcare in Jamaica. And I heard the minister Just this morning, Minister Tufton put out something. He was talking to somebody. I want to say it was CVM, you know. I wonder if I can find it. I don't know if the minister was listening over here or if somebody tell him or if CVM did over here listening and call the minister to say something. But it was about the culture of healthcare that we discussed over here. And the minister said that the government is aware that we have a deficit in staffing and all these things. So he made reference to the recruitment of healthcare workers from abroad. You have to have a healthcare system with enough workers and people who are not overburdened, and that
So government.
hold on a second, guys, and that will help to provide quality care to your patients. So let me just play a little bit of this for you. CVM spoke to Dr. Tufton, who spoke on the culture of healthcare, complaints that people make. And I have something, I don't know if I say it, but I'm going to come to it. All right, sit here.
Here, public health facilities. Do you think we have a problem as minister? Every case is a problem, but I do agree that we have too many of these circumstances. So I could be very simplistic and say, yes, we have a problem. And in my own conviction, I think we do. I think too many of us have forgotten what it means to deliver care with compassion. Too many of us, it's just about a job and a salary. And health is a very emotional field. According to Dr. Tufton, human resource constraints are among the primary reasons contributing to the malady of poor patient care. This is why, he says, additional healthcare workers will be brought in from overseas. But part of the challenge that health faces is that we don't have enough in particular areas, which is why we have to open up the system, starting with training more people, offering incentives like the Darwin Scholarship to hold people to the system, but also becoming a lot more international in our outlook, which is why we established the international unit, and which is why we expect nurses to come from Ghana in short order, and Philippines and India and Nigeria. The Health and Wellness Minister also sought to remind the public that if they feel they're the victims of poor patient care at public health facilities, they can seek redress through the courts. There is the courts, because we have had, not publicized all the time, but we have had cases where patients exercise their right to go to the courts and to take legal action against an institution. And I think the most recent aired in the public space was involving a case at University Hospital where a patient won and had to be compensated. So those mechanisms are there. Oftentimes, patients tend to take to the airwaves, the social media and the news and so on, because they think highlighting it will get them attention. And in some cases, it does help because we do monitor. Tyrone Reed, CVM News.
When you hear that, I the same thing we over here talk about a couple of nights ago about the quality of care, the lack of compassion among some healthcare workers. I'm not going to sit here and paint the entire healthcare system as incompassionate because we do have Jamaican nurses and doctors, nursing assistants, and other healthcare workers who are compassionate, who are doing the right thing. But them say a one bad apple it takes to spoil the bunch, right? The minister seemed to understand the issue, and that's good. But where he spoke about seeking redress in the court, we're talking, we don't really see a lot of that in Jamaica where healthcare is concerned, right? We know that doctors and hospitals, they have to pay malpractice insurance and all kind of something. Meaning say if somebody accidentally or even deliberately them get hurt, they can get redress legally. But as the minister said, most people who complain, they do so on the airwaves, but they don't actually get any compensation, you know. When me first come America, I say, boy, them a people are so favorite thing. You go McDonald's, look at hot water, look at tea drop on your foot, a lawsuit and big millions of dollars. I think that this kind of thing tend to hold people accountable, as it should. Don't you guys agree? So yeah, I mean, we have the courts, but it's just that some people they might not be educated about how they can go about, getting redress through the court. But it's a very good point. I mean, even if we had the perfect healthcare system and there was nothing seriously wrong for us to be out here talking about this, the fact still remain that if somebody get hurt by accident or by deliberate, courthouse supposed to can sort it out, right? It's not always that the minister need to do something. Sometimes you have to just carry a court, and he's right, right? So the health and social policy, the health and social policy where healthcare is concerned, that's part of what I just showed you, and you heard what the minister said. And what the government did, they made arrangements for recruitment from countries like Ghana, Nigeria, India. The minister said the Philippines as well. And that's the International Health Worker Recruitment Unit. They're continuing training and deployment of more than 100 specialist nurses. You guys, I don't know if you saw the graduation recently of some nurses. So they're trying to, make the healthcare system better. They're offering scholarships to nurses and doctors, for those who may have a desire to go into healthcare, but they may not have the funds. Scholarship is available. They have allocated 1 billion to a health infrastructure maintenance fund. They've created a 2-year 500 million Jamaican dollar care fund for community projects aimed at preventing non-communicable diseases. They announced a $200 million expansion of care facilities to reduce the number of social cases occupying hospital beds. And that is so important. Some people, them head start hurt them at emergency room, them gone. When if them did have a little um urgent care facility not far from home, they could go there and seek help rather than to crowd up the hospitals. That's one of the things here in the United States, in my state, where you have seen you see a lot of urgent care facilities rolled out over the last, I would say, maybe 15 years or so. A lot of urgent care, smaller healthcare facilities like a clinic, you know? Because some people don't understand, say, some things are just not emergencies. So, the government also planned a menstrual health equity pilot for approximately 2,000 girls in 8 schools, and that's important. We know about period poverty and, educating young girls who may not have that guidance. That's good. And so that's it on healthcare. Guys, give me a break real quick. I need to plug in a device here because if I don't, we are going to lock off and we don't want that. So give me just a second.
Before we begin tonight's program, here's a quick message from JPU Media. Do you own a business, offer a professional service, or an upcoming event? Promote your brand to the JPU global audience with our affordable advertising package. Just $150 for one full week of promotion during our live broadcast. JPU Media also provides professional editing and proofreading services. If you have
All right, we're back. So we're gonna talk now about crime. That was it for healthcare. Una tired yet? Tell me if you're tired yet, because a whole heap of things that me just tell you say the government do so far, you know. Wouldn't you guys agree? That's a lot. All right, and we're not done yet. So let us get into crime. So the government continued Plan Secure Jamaica with a reported 90 million Jamaican dollars allocated and reorganized. They reorganized the portfolio as the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And for those of you in Jamaica, I know that you too see on the television and also on PBCJ, because when I was in Jamaica watching TV, I like to watch local TV. Even though I don't watch a lot of TV, but I like to watch local TV just to see what's going on and keep up. And on the local TV, you see a lot of commercials about peace and conflict resolution. And you can see that the government is using the airwaves to promote peace, to reduce violence. And I think that is an excellent way of going about crime reduction. It's not just about carrying out an operation. Wanna see? The government is using every single channel that they can to promote peace in the country. The police, them a do for them part. I'm trying to think if I saw any billboards in Jamaica. I don't remember seeing any billboards or on the big screen. You know the big screen in half a tree? Me no remember if me see anything there where promote peace. Here in the United States, if there's a community where you have, violent crime or an increase of it, you will see little billboards and little yard signs and stuff like that. Then put up say stop the killing and stuff like that. If that's not a thing in Jamaica, I don't see anything wrong with doing it. You're not going to see it in the tourist areas because the tourist areas are probably the safest in the country. But in parts of the country where, there's a lot of crime, I think it's okay to put billboards and yard signs and let people know, that we're promoting peace here. So the official figures for murders last year was 673, 2025. Approximately a 42 to 43% decline from 2024, the lowest annual murder total since 1994, guys. Somebody tell me in the chat, how many years has it been since 1994? And there's a continued decline reported during the early months of 2026. And I think I told you guys last night when I was addressing Mr. Dr. Michael Abrams that as of August 8th, we only saw 333 homicides in Jamaica. And I posted a video on TikTok about it, and a whole heap of people view it so far. We want to get this message out there. So that is it for crime. The government is doing their thing. $90 million annually on crime, guys. Crime fighting, that's a lot. And we can see where it's going. Jamaica live good. Yes. Jamaica, where we live. Good night. That's one of the things that you see on the TV and on the PBCJ in Jamaica. They continue to promote one commercial sitting when named Jamaica Live Good coming out of the security ministry. And you will have little skits, with reggae or dancehall entertainers. They would do like a commercial. I say, my you, that no need for cause no problem, or you don't need to get violent about something like that, you know. A few guys playing a game of basketball, and one guy maybe bump the other and the other one want to fight. And so they are promoting this on television and on the internet, because some people don't watch TV. They may get their news and everything through the internet on PBCJ, for example, or I don't know, maybe JIS. But yeah, you do see the government using everything that they can to promote peace. What I just showed you about Minister Grange and having the shelters for battered women or abused women, that's also a part of crime fighting. You know what I mean? So it is not just one thing, it's a variety of things. The government also announced continued development of the JDF's Camp Warika and placed greater rhetorical and program emphasis on conflict prevention, domestic violence, and community peace, Camp Warika, and security policy. I hope that the person who is going to follow Dr. Chang in the National Security Ministry, I hope that person is taking some very serious notes, because this man has done brilliantly where crime fighting is concerned, and it would be a travesty to not see it get better and instead get worse. I think if you put them a people who in a PNP, no. If you put them in a government, me feel say it will get worse. I don't trust them people. But the government of the day must ensure that the person coming in after Dr. Chang in that security ministry, and not play thing and not joke thing. Okay? Now let's move on to agriculture. The government launched approximately $880 million Jamaican in agriculture. 800 million Jamaican for 95 additional greenhouses across Clarendon, St. Ann, Manchester, and St. Catherine. Rolling out 149 million drought mitigation program, allocating 950 million for the second phase of agriculture research facility rehabilitation, 500 million to advance Pedro Plains irrigation, 904 million to advance Essex Valley irrigation. They were preparing to draft a 10-year National Agriculture Development Plan, allocated 1.46 billion through the Ready to for Climate Resilience Agriculture and Tourism initiatives. That's a whole heap of money we're talking, guys. So for agriculture, I don't think there's too much to worry about. But to be honest, we don't know. And even right now, when time we are faced a drought too, between the hurricane and the drought, say me personally, did I expect Jamaica to have some severe agriculture problem? But we have been so resilient. It's amazing. Let's go to education real quick. The administration identified the following priorities: literacy and numeracy, addressing underperformance among boys, special education, expansion of technology and vocational training, free access to selected HEART NSTA Level 5 programs, greater rural access to skill training, science education in early childhood. The NEST Early Science program began rolling out with a target of 500 early childhood institutions by the end of 2026. So acknowledging where we fall short in education is important. There's the public sector modernization, where the government signed a $70 million US IDB loan to modernize government payroll, human resources management, procurement, finance and accounting, shared corporate services, technology dependent public sector processes. And this is a 6-year transformation program. So it is financed and in progress, not completed, but in progress. And the Ministry of Finance reported climate and environmental policy. They've started development of Jamaica's first national adaptation plan. They've announced the work on a carbon markets framework, pursued a $20 million application to the loss and damage fund, and prepared to propose blue and green investment fund targeting more than 150 million US. Give me a second, guys. Somebody made a commitment that we would establish. Somebody just sent me something which I think is kind of important. And while we're at it, well, I may tell you now. Paul will say that him talk to the government and the government so that them can get some land for relocate the people them. Oh no, so the people them up a Burger Gully. According to reports, they are divided on the relocation plan. Can you believe it? All the people them flood out all the while. What I will say to the people them of Burger Gully, those of you who want to relocate, don't worry about who don't want to relocate. Don't make this opportunity miss you, okay? Make the next flood miss you. Because this is unbelievable. But while I am at this, some subscribers down a Dayton Campbell constituency. They say me fi tell him say, I only can tell him to. They say me fi tell Dayton Campbell say, when him a go do the back to school treat like what Danny Lawrence used to do. They say them not see him. So just in case you see Dayton Campbell, tell him that his constituents are concerned. When is he gonna do the back to school treat? Talking about back to school treat, real quick, because I'm going to do a video upload about this. Member of Parliament Isaac Buchanan was on TikTok bragging and talking about the container that came in with the back to school supplies and stuff. While the back to school supplies, is a good thing. I will never say that's a bad thing. But you see the difference between Isaac Member of Parliament and Anne-Marie Vaz Member of Parliament is that Anne-Marie Vaz dealt with a lot of the infrastructure issues in East Portland. Isaac Buchanan is about the mediocre style of politics. Giving out tablets. Some of them, people them tell me say some of them stop work, but me not gonna really get into that. But they look back to school treat and these kind of things. It's good, but it's mediocre. I think your roads, your water system and all them things there, those are some very important things that are expectations of the people. So if Isaac Buchanan was more passionate and excited about fixing the roads and making that kind of representation for the people, because me no know how Anne-Marie Vaz used to get so much road fix. Me don't know if true she a woman and she more charming, cause we women we have that something there, where we know how to get exactly what we want. Gentlemen, no offense, right? But women, Most of us, we have that trait where we know exactly what to do, we know exactly what to say to get what we want. And we don't know if for that, but I thought you gotta come with something. The people them are call me and I complain, and they want come over here can talk. But me say, me will talk for no because I don't want nobody to say, you know, this is a channel where I fight down PNP and Ray Ray. Unu can't say we are fight down PNP again. Who used to talk so before? Let me tell you now why unu can't say we are fight down PNP over here. Michael Abrams. Michael Abrams, who we all believe at some point in time was anti-wholeness, anti-government, and pro-PNP. Michael Abrams who did want to see the PNP coming can replace the JLP, and nothing wrong with that. People like him a come out now saying exactly what we've been saying over here for as long as we've been here. People like Dion Jackson Miller, we say them unbiased and them a media, okay, whatever. But them come out now using language like wicked and evil and, intellectually bankrupt. So nobody can come over here so come say we are fight down PNP. All right? Now let's get back to what we were talking about. We'll come back to East Portland in a different upload. So we were talking about the public sector modernization. There's also the climate and environmental policy where the administration started developing Jamaica's first national adaptation plan. I think I mentioned that just a moment ago. Some of these things are announced, some are actually in motion. I'll try not to mention the announced, but what's actually happened. I tried to organize, yes, what was announced and what's actually happened. But the 10 most important, and these are actually happening. I'm just going to go through them real quick one last time. And then, if you guys want to discuss, we can. Our time now. Can go on at 20 minutes. Yes. So the main ones are NARA. NARA is delivering. NARA is delivering reconstruction. And it's delivering in a way that is quick while maintaining transparency, right? Number 2, the NHT. Should Jamaica, or should I say, let me phrase it this way. Should the 57 billion Jamaican dollars be removed from the NHT over 5 years? In my opinion, if it is to look after the country's, financial obligations responsibly, I personally don't see a problem with it because when PNP did it, if I am not mistaken, Andrew Owens in opposition supported it. I think they did it for something to do with education. This is not something to play politics with. The third one is the minimum wage. Some people argue that 17,000 is not adequate. It's what we can afford. And it's more than what it was before. I don't have any complaints about it because I know the government and the country cannot do any better at this time. So to even, debate it is ridiculous. Maybe if we didn't have the hurricane, it would be better, but it is what it is. The fourth thing is the 1,424 container homes. They're not all occupied, but the government is in motion. Some of them are in the country already, And you know, there has to be a verification process to give them to people. I am for the verification process, especially when I hear opposition member Isaac Buchanan telling the people them to defraud the government to get house and get land. So there has to be verification. Number 5, the roofs program. The roofs beneficiaries. The government should probably give an update on how many beneficiaries have received completed repairs and not merely just assess or talk about vouchers, but talk about how many people have actually received help. The sixth one is the falling of murder figures. Does that translate to safer communities? 100%, yes. I said yesterday that we're being at 333 murders and predicting about 500 by the end of the year. That is something to celebrate. But in the same breath, we must understand that 500 homicides at the end of the year is still high. It is still high. For a country like Jamaica, come on, we can go less than 100. What do we need to be unaliving people for? There are some countries where finish the year, every year, with less than 50 homicides. So yes, we celebrate the significant decrease, but we want to see much less than 500 over time and not long from now. The seventh point is the 5,000 titles, land titles. Are they being delivered fast enough? That's something that the government must come and update the people on. The eighth point, where agriculture is concerned, how is this working out for the farmers, the local farmers? I don't really hear not from the local farmers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Would be nice to hear from them. Now, here's another one. The Republic Bill. What are we going to do about the Republic Bill? We have a way to go, guys. Jamaica is developing, yes. But when we come back to the parliament, you may talk about when we come back to the parliament like me not the park. Guys, me not in the parliament. For those of you who come over here for the first time, I am not in the parliament. When Jamaica comes back to the parliament, when Jamaica comes back to the parliament, guys, we have to hit the ground running. I am of the opinion that with the majority, Jamaica can pass a lot more bills right now. Don't waste a majority. There are other things, that we can do so that when the term ends, you don't have hand for whole um achievement book. Or you don't have hand for whole achievements for sure the people them say see to Jamaica. These are the things that we have accomplished. Right? Guys, me tired. So yeah, I think over the last year, I would say the government did quite a bit. They should be proud of what they have done so far. One of the things that I want to see the government do when they come back, we have to do something. We have to do something about the disinformation in the country. That's one thing that I would like to see this government do with their majority, is to address the issue of disinformation. You got to look at other countries who have acted to protect their democracy, to protect their people, protect their country. You got to do it. I'm going to open up the phone lines. If anybody has anything to say, and guys, remember say you can tap up the super chat over here. And if anybody has anything to say about what we've discussed or what you would like to see when the parliament resumes, you can say it here. Um, do not call that 561 number going across the bottom of the screen. That is the Zelle number if you want to make a contribution. But you can call this number on WhatsApp, the 478 number. Use your majority. That's right. And especially when you have an opposition that does nothing but obstruct, why not? You know? Because the truth of the matter is, we don't know. We don't. Some people say, boy, yes, the fourth term is loaded and loaded and loaded. In my opinion, the PNP, them are do everything for lose the next election. Are they going to lose? We don't know. We don't know. Is the government doing everything to win the next election? No, they are not. They are not. Them have to deal with the disinformation problem and them have to deal with the party's communication problem. Them the two something them have to do. The government of the day, they don't really have a problem governing. What they have a problem with is what is around governance. And that is control your narrative, educate and inform your people, right? And what are the deterrents to those right now? Disinformation, communication. PNP is doing everything every day to lose the election. Hello, good night. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you got to turn down the background because I'm hearing myself back.
Yes, good night.
Hi.
Yes, you're totally correct. I listen you, I listen you every week and I can tell you, say, boy, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're doing a very good job. And this is what I talk about all the time. That disinformation is a serious problem. And as far as what I say, the JLP and the government, it seems like they don't get it. They don't understand about that, how much damage that you create. I'm in America, and when I go to work, a lot of Jamaica there, and I tell you, you see, all those disinformation, and when I tell them the truth, what Jamaican and the government doing, they send it up and say, no, it's hardly negative. Them feed on, and I really say, them don't get it. And I hear you say it over and over and over, and I don't know why they're not doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize everybody just silent. What they're doing a good job, very good job. But I don't hear them talking about it. That's the reason why the disinformation take over the goodness. What them do, come out and talk about it. They have many areas because when you have people about say them doing a good job, what they doing? When I tell them, they said no, they don't hear that. I tell them about the school bus, they don't know about it. I tell them about the road that fixed, no, they don't know about it. Because they're not selling what they're doing. And I hear talking, but I don't know why.
Well, it's up to them. The fourth. What you think about it? What you think about the fourth term?
And I'm an American, and I can tell you a lot of people when I go to them about they're feeding to the one what in Canada. What in name? Then when we go to work, it's just them then listen to the negative one then. The rubber dub something like what in name in Canada. And see it's him then tune into and some it's just a negative blogger. Then I don't understand. I don't understand. And the PNP, I don't understand them. Them don't talk nothing good about the government. Them see, but them just play a blind eye.
All
They
right.
just play a blind eye.
Well, thank you. Hopefully they hear you too.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you, we need some more like you because I listen majority blogger and I tell you what you do. Anything, you go straight into every point where I don't say nobody else ever do what you're doing. Nobody else take on that role. Some other is trying, but you go and what you go, it seems like you tie with the government, but I know you don't. But you take on a lot. And if the government really listen to you, them can do better.
Hopefully they will. All right. Something happened here. Sorry about that, guys. Well, let me declare it right here. So, I do not work for the government. I don't work for the government. No matter how they hear the risers, them, I walk up and down. Them put me up in a green shirt. Me see them over TikTok. Them put me up in a green shirt. Then walk and convince everybody in the world say I work for the government. If the government give me a work, me not tell a lie. That's that nice. Okay? Let me not go sit here and pretend like say, boy, if the government give me one look of work, me not go like it. Yeah. If me have time and it can squeeze into my life and my schedule, from the diaspora, yes, sure, I will work for the government. One thing I will not do is tell lie for the government or tell lie for anybody. Me not doing that. Anything when we hear me talk out here, it is going to be the truth and it can stand up against any scrutiny. And if anybody is going to come and criticize me or even say I am working for the government, as long as what I am saying is true, it doesn't even matter. Okay? And if you want to test the validity, accuracy, or the credibility of what I say, test me on the truth. But I am not working for the government, guys. I'm working for the truth and I'm working for Jamaica. Right? But I appreciate the people who acknowledge the work that we do over here. And you all hear some of the constructive things I've said where the government is concerned, where politicians in general are concerned. For example, they go to the parliament, they do certain things, they participate in certain things, and they do not go back to their constituents who send them to parliament to report to the people and tell them what bills are brought up, what they're debating, what they're voting on, things like that. So when them don't do that, I'm talking about all 63 members. At this time in a Jamaican politics, you're going to have the PNP we have today. They lie to the people constantly. So it doesn't even matter what they say to their people because I see them and hear them with my own yaya ears. Dayton Campbell, for example, went to the Jamaican people in him constituency and tell them, say, Him do everything. Him join up with everything what the government a do for the recovery and reconstruction. And Dayton Campbell know to God say him and the whole of the PNP them voted against the recovery, right? So it don't really matter what them go tell for them people. But the government people, they must go to them people and tell them what they're doing routinely once a month. Have a town hall in different divisions or whatever. Bring out the people them and tell them if we not have to do it past street corner with a bullhorn. Go out there and talk to the people them and tell them what y'all are doing. Because if you're not connected to the people for 5 years, you get up, you put on jacket and tie, you got parliament every day. But you not say nothing to the people them, except when election a come back round now. You gone back to the people them and tell them if you vote for you. That doesn't motivate voters really. It may motivate some party loyalists, right? But if Jamaica really want to see more voter participation, more than 37%, 39% of your voters coming out. You got to engage the people. You got to talk to the people. You got to do it consistently. So, yeah. Um, 11 o'clock p.m. my time, 10 o'clock p.m. at Jamaica. People in Jamaica, want to tell me, the heat, how now manage with the heat? Has it cooled down any? It's not cooled down where I am at all. It's been very hot. 99, 100 Fahrenheit. And we have to look forward to this. Look, a rainfall this evening, which was good, but it's just been so bad, guys. I've been invited to some events, summer events, outdoor events and stuff. I wanted to go to this all white event on Sunday, but it's outdoor. What am I doing outdoor with the weather like this? No, Sammy, I stay in my yard. So I hope that at some point in time it will cool down for you guys. And wherever you are, where it's hot. I'll take a few more calls before we go. Guys, you have one man on the internet named Peter Gracie. Wanna know him? One undercover comrade. Let me tell you something. One of the things that will mash up some of the organizations them in the diaspora. I wonder if you know, say, some political actors from Jamaica in the diaspora, then come with them political agenda and mash up whole heap of good organizations in the diaspora. No did know that? The man here named Peter Gracie down in Florida. Same was diaspora councilman or something. Everything the man come say is against the country. Everything him come say. You're talking about the beaches. Yes, it's true. We have lost a lot of beaches and free beaches. Some beaches and even rivers. When crime did high, gunman a control them. You go past certain beach and you go past certain river. You have to pay your money to man and them something there. Them think they mash up certain things. This blame game about the beaches, it don't make no sense. The government of the day said them are coming with some legislation to deal with the beach access thing in the country. They came out with some numbers saying that there are 60 beaches that are free, right? And you have the environmentalist people who are saying, no, you cannot consider some beaches in the real sense. Maybe because they need upgrade or something like that. I don't know. But it's an issue, that span over many years, decades, administrations. What are we gonna do about it today? Only name two beaches in a Kingston where freeway can go. Back in the 90s, when I was growing up, we used to live at Greenwich Town one at the time. And our two beaches them, Port Henderson and Elsha. Mother Nature come take with Elsha. Me no know what go on a Port Henderson. Bob Marley Beach, I want beach where you can go to for free, I think. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, welcome.
How are you, Natalie?
I'm fine, thank you.
A long time I try to get to you, man. I can't get to you.
That's you?
I love your program.
Thank you. Your background is noisy though.
Oh, is it fun? Fun is on the wall. Let me turn it off. Better now?
Yes. Or you have the TV on, something like that.
Yeah, man. I love your program, man. You
Thank
just
you.
talk of the truth.
Okay.
As you are in for, you are in for program for like,
Oh,
and do that. Oh,
okay.
man.
Well, thank you.
I am saying the other side.
St. Mary. All right, big up yourself. Don't the clean door.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yes.
It big man, man.
I was in St. Mary over the Independence Week and I really admired how clean most of St. Mary is.
Yeah, man, come me follow you when you are tour, man. You and the other two lady.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for
man.
calling.
Yes, man. You're welcome.
All right. Yes, guys, St. Mary people. One thing me I go give you no credit for. When you're coming into St. Mary, especially when you drive through Junction, and you're coming past St. Mary, the place clean and peaceful. Me stop a one jelly man in St. Mary. One Rasta man. And him the on the side of the road, I sell him look a jelly. And him have him look a fridge. Cause me say, you have cold jelly? And him say, yes. Me say, you have cold jelly? Him say, why you don't believe me? Cause you me never see the fridge and I'm look a shop. The man style me, I say. Anyway, he give me the cold jelly and I was traveling with Michelle that day. And we had a jelly and they were good and everything. And me I look around and me I say, boy, out here so clean. You see, even shot the man I said them jelly, you can't drop a straw out there, Everything just clean. And I was like, yeah, I like this. I'm peaceful. Very nice. Bob Marley Beach and Elsha, yeah. So I never got Bob Marley Beach yet. Back in the day too, we used to go to a gunboat. Port Endis used to nice in the 90s, 97, 98, 99. Every Sunday, Port Endis used to keep party. Oh my gosh, those were the good old days, may I tell you now. Port Endis beach used to nice. Them used to have music playing, local families coming in, just having a good old time, dancing, watching everything, the water nice, water clean. Those were the days when we used to cook with food and carry come a beach past Sunday daytime. Gunboat was nice. One of my favorite local beaches in Jamaica today is Burwood Beach. It had some renovation done. They have some nice facilities there, bathroom, um, shower room. It's just really nice. You have to pay to go in there. So the last few times I was there, them tell the local people them say them can come in for free, but the foreigner them I think them say have to pay. It was either that or locals paid a different price than the foreigners. Honest to God, it never really bothered me because to how nice the beach is, even though them need to pave the parking lot, when I went there, it was rocky. But the beach is so clean and so nice, and you have good facility to use. Me never really mind paying. But when you go with a car load of people and a car load of family, then maybe you're not so happy about paying, right? But it's a really nice beach and it's clean. I went to a beach party down there one time too, and that was nice. I would keep that beach party there. Couple of years ago, me and my cousin them we go on beach party down there. Oh, one selector guy from New York named Noah did keep one nice, big, nice beach party down there. I mean, the parking, it was so huge. The parking lot couldn't hold the people them. When they look car miles and miles. Nice, nice beach party. Fort Clarence. Gunboat now keep again. I like Bogue in St. Elizabeth. Bogue is so quiet. Remember the video I posted with the lady when named Debbie from Bogue? Me have to ask Debbie say, where the people them there? Like nobody no outside more than so. But you will see like farmers coming home from them farm and stuff like that. But so quiet. And we saw a few rivers too in St. Elizabeth. There's also a beach in Eastern Kingston. Me hear about a beach, I know, but me never go there yet. Beaumont Beach. Yeah, me hear about it. Never go there yet. I need to visit Bob Marley Beach one at a time then. The beach being clean and bathroom facilities available, so there should be no problem to pay a small fee. Yeah. Bluefields Beach is not in Black River. Bluefields Beach in Westmoreland. Bluefields Beach pretty too. Did I tell you guys a story about Bluefields Beach? In about 2019, I was in Jamaica with my daughter that summer, and we were staying in White House. We have a family member down there in White House, right beside a Sandals. So didn't take us very long to get to Bluefields Beach. Anyway, guys, me drive go around on the beach, you see? And I hadn't been in Westmoreland in a long time. Drive go around on the beach. And when me go around on the beach and we park and I settle down, there's this memory that came to me that I've been here before. But me could remember. And me keep on a think about it, me keep on a think about it. My granny was a type of woman where she used to like go people funeral because she used to like to dress up. You know, she was a dressmaker. Once she hear about funeral, cause you know when people get old, them not really have too much place to go about like funeral and they sitting there. So my granny, anybody were dead, were in the community, she got a funeral. One time, my grandmother did carry go one funeral at Westmoreland. And it was like a long drive from where we were living and so forth. Let me get to that part there. So anyway, the beach, the place looked familiar to me. I think I've been here before, but I can't figure out how me come here, who me come here with, and what. Cause the place look familiar, but some might don't look familiar. Across the street from the beach, there was a woman selling out there. So me go to the woman and me say, Miss, me can ask you something? She say, yeah. Me say, I've been here before, but something look different about this place. Me know me come here before. Oh, me know because there's a park down at Bluefields Beach where you can stop and go use the bathroom and walk around and so. Me remember this so. Because I remember on this particular trip, we had stopped to use the park and use the bathroom and so on the bus. So I said, what is it that is different about it that's throwing me off? She said, okay, maybe when they did come them time there, the main road out there so never build up. Just the back road. If you know Bluefields, guys, you will know say the back road are where they used to use in the 90s and them time there. So I say, okay, making sense now. So now that me know, so the main road never did it, me I try picture now. And then the memory came back to me. My grandmother brought me and my cousin them to this funeral in the hills of Westmoreland. And the bus did stop. The bus did stop at a park there. And the beach crossed the road. And in memory start come back to me now. And me I remember say when they come off of the bus and everything, and me that said the beach are pretty in my head, you know. And me start crying now, guys, because my grandmother died. And if she was alive, mother did call her and say, you know, me that tell her, say, you know, I'm here at this beach where you did care we come back in the days. But me say, guys, it was such an emotional thing. And I just remember the beach was as pretty as it was when I was a child. But I am hearing, I don't know if it's true, that some kind of development on the beach. I don't want to say too much because I can't verify it. I hope that Jamaicans will always and forever have access to that beach. Very beautiful, white sand, perfect, you know, and it's free. Galleon Beach is in Black River. Bluefields Beach as a child was my every weekend getaway. It was never really fun. I was never really fun of it because of stones. Okay. Me never really experienced a stone out there still, but yeah. Bluefields are one of the prettiest beaches, yeah. As it relates to the very important aspect of information, what is the role of Senator Abka Fitz-Enley? Um, as far as I can see, when something arises that is either false or need to be clarified, depending on where it's happening and depending on the information, different people will come out and speak. I think that's the strategy of the JLP where information is concerned. For example, when the PNP them go say the situation down Cooper's Pen, when they try to say that the government should have the people them off of the land and so the mayor down there came out and said a lie, not no go so. And I've never heard that mayor spoke. So I was like, okay, what is going on? But I guess because he's the mayor and it's his parish, he spoke on it. Then Fitzenley spoke. Senator Morgan spoke as well. So I don't know, it's a lot of people speaking on a lot of things. Um, I guess that's good. I don't know. But I still think the government needs a press secretary. Yeah. Parliamentary secretary. But guys, you see, in a Kingston now, if you live in a Kingston, one Sunday when you say you want to go to the beach and enjoy yourself, which part you go? Tell me where you go in Kingston. Cause from me see the Mother Nature take back Elsha, and I think they lock off Port Henderson. And of course, gunboat gone from long time. Me not really. When I'm in Kingston, I really don't think beach. I don't think beach. You know? So Front Hill Beach in St. Elizabeth is beautiful too. I've not been there. So I like the St. Elizabeth of Wolipa Beach, man. Santa, if I ever become press secretary for Jamaica, you know, so me have to get security. The comrades them not take a set for me and say, no, sir. St. Thomas is the closest beach to go. Bob Marley Beach. St. Thomas have Volipa Beach too. I think free beach. St. Thomas. But next time I'm in Jamaica, I'll have to visit St. Thomas. I have not seen since St. Thomas had all those beautiful roads, and I have not been to St. Thomas since. So I'm looking forward to that. Run with narratives without thinking. There are so many beaches available to Jamaicans. How come the foreigners come and find them? This remind me of cribs. One person have over. All right, hear the truth now. In a Jamaica, for example, if you come from, let's say you come from Kingston, if you come from Kingston and you are confined to Kingston, you really don't know a lot about what is there unless you is a person who make an effort to travel around the island. When I was growing up and lived in Kingston, spent most of my time and my life when I lived in Jamaica in Kingston. To be honest with you, know, my father drove and my father used to take us places, but it was mostly either in Kingston or upon holiday time when we are going on a country, down our family them. But most of the other things them when me see and know, I chose school trip, you know. For example, the first time I went to Ocho Rios, no, not Ocho Rios, I'm sorry. First time I went to Montego Bay, figure see Rosal, Great House, and them sitting there. A school trip we go on. So school trip make we know a whole heap of place. But besides that, how else are people getting out to know what beaches there are outside of their immediate surrounding and stuff like that? It's kind of better now because now we have highways, we have easier access to get around the island. But like back in those days, you really didn't know, a lot of places and what's out there. True words, may I tell you no. Portland, yes. One of my friend them from Portland that tell me say he wanted to take me on a tour of Portland because believe it or not, Portland is the only parish I've not been to in Jamaica. Don't ask me what kind of worthlessness that kind of a worthlessness. Okay. But anyway, I am gonna go. But some of the things that he was saying, him saying only beach alone we have a Portland. We've got some nice rivers down here. So um there's always this saying too that the most beautiful water in a Jamaica, they are Portland. I believe it. I think the closer you get to Portland, the prettier the water. St. Mary, oh my gosh. Pictures and videos not do it any justice. And I think, look, yes, I do believe it. Portland. hmm Good evening, Charmaine. Welcome, welcome. Thank God it's Friday. And by your Quinta Monday. Save the best for last. Yeah, man. One time, my auntie did go down to Portland, she tell me, say she did go visit some family members that she just met at one place called Ginger something. Yes. So I say anytime I go there, I'm gonna try to find those people and, get to know them. But Portland, there was a man on YouTube, him died now, when him Chucky. in a COVID. My daughter was always on YouTube watching Chucky. Chucky was a man who have one little Airbnb. And guys, Chucky Airbnb was not your average Airbnb. Chucky Airbnb was me not even know if one little shed, me that call it, one little cottage, one little, me don't know, right by the river. Really, I miss some. When my daughter show me, my daughter say, Mom, come look at this man named Chucky. And Chucky have some people come there from Switzerland, all over Europe. Only know in a COVID time, people were just trying to find things to do and explore and go places. So me start follow Chucky too. Okay. And I really got to see some really nice things about, what Chucky was doing. And then people start to follow Chucky with the Airbnb and oh, him that run film Airbnb. Chucky Airbnb wasn't the fancy, air conditioning. No, Chucky thing was a mother nature Airbnb thing. You understand? Unfortunately, Chucky passed away. I think he had a motorcycle accident. Couldn't recover from, I think, a brain injury that he had. But yeah, Chuck used to use a motorcycling bike, ride, go everywhere. And the people, them will come visit Chucky. Them love it. Them come from the most first world luxurious countries. And it was just amazing to see how they were enjoying themselves in a Chucky little one room. Chucky and the dog them eat. Chucky be upon the river. Chucky use coal stove. It was that kind of thing. Chucky go chop down banana and come give the people them for eat. Kind of like an off the grid thing. And Chucky, as a Rasta man, would be telling the people, say, him not in a nothing with Babylon system and all kind of something, people. But it was just so nice to see the people them a get indoctrinated by Chucky. It was fun. Yeah. You used to watch him? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if the Airbnb still are going, but that man really put Jamaica up on the map with that Airbnb sitting there with me that go on with down at Portland. Very nice. But let's see.
Well, let me tell all the gang members who are licking their lips, looking on at big fat contracts to come, none of that will happen here. I want to say it loud and clear. We have already started to work with the JDF and the JCF. This will be a military camp if it has to be. There will be no extortion here. No.
All right, guys, I think we can wrap it up here. Yes. Rustic vintage vibe. Yeah, man, I love it. Nice. I wanted a Rasta man too, when he start do it. Him more into, I don't remember his name. I think he's located in Trelawney, but he's more into Jamaican cuisine and food and organic lifestyle. If anybody know him name, drop in at the chat. Let me start with the see. When I saw the internet powerful, guys. And Chucky no know about phone and them something there. So the people them from Europe we come at Chucky Airbnb and them put him on the internet. Yeah, man, and them put him on the internet. And it's a good thing that they did. Because he was, as one set of people come, another set of people, and he was doing really well. So unfortunate that he had that accident. And I am saying to all the people them who ride bike in Jamaica, wear on a helmet. Don't go on a motorcycle without wearing on a helmet. Very important. Worst thing you can ever do is to go and carelessly get a brain injury. And sometimes it not have to take nothing major to get a brain or spinal injury that you cannot recover from. You would be so surprised to see. I am one of those people who the showers in my house, you have to have a bath mat in the shower. Okay? Because you can have something as simple as a slip and fall in your bathroom. You hit your spine the wrong way, you hit your head the wrong way, and that's it. You understand? My daughter does not like it, but she don't really understand. I mean, now that she's going into nursing, she'll get it. But it is so easy to have a slip and fall, and you don't have to fall hard. Very, very simple. So when time she not like it. When I was leaving to go to Jamaica with you got to change them out so often. She didn't have one in there. I'm going to tell her, say, listen, I don't need no negative phone call. Leave the bath mat in the bathroom. And when you shower, you turn up on it. Don't slip and fall. So you got to be so careful. Life, guys, is so fragile. Sometimes it does not take anything for you to, you know, have a freak accident. And, that's it. Thank you, guys. Guys, I think we're at 59 or 60,000 subscribers over here. We're about to hit 60,000 subscribers. I thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel, and I encourage you. We're at 59.6 thousand subscribers, and I encourage you to continue sharing our channel to your friends and your family members, your neighbors, and stuff like that. I have met people who say, I started watching your channel and I share it to my brother, my sister, my mother, my uncle, my niece, my auntie, my nephew. I have other people who say, so my sister share your channel. Or you may have somebody who say, so my secretary or my accountant share the channel. And from that, me just start watch. I want to continue to share it, guys. Thank you, Kevin. That's the person I'm talking about. The Rasta man named Ras Moko. I mean, no, sir, Rasmoko cannot use a smartphone for video, nothing. So people go help them to put them on the internet. And Rasmoko the type of man is a woman's dream. Some woman don't like kitchen. Rasmoko can cook. Rasmoko can cook. And Rasmoko cook something from the days of slavery. When you know them kind of food there, when I say the days of slavery, I talk about food where you can cook, where you not have to do too much. Rasmoko can cook without going to the store. You understand? Everything the man deal with are just organic, the real and true organic food. You understand? That man can live off the grid and survive off the grid healthier than those who are on the grid. Allow me to tell guys, Rasmuka the boss man. And me see the taxi man them and some of the PNP them a come out and talk about say them a go pan, them a lock down the country. No movement there. Why they want no movement there? They say the road traffic act. Don't the minister say I review the road traffic act? Yes, he did. Some of them don't want rules and a regulation on the road and them go out there and kill off people. So I don't understand. No movement, them say. Coconut milk. Yes, man. Rasmuka cook everything with coconut milk. That's my mom. Cook everything with coconut milk. Big up yourself, true Jamaica. Thank you. September 7, them say no movement, guys. Why they say no movement? They want to shut down the government and shut down the country. I don't know why. I got your feedback on the thing we did last night with Dr. Abrahams. Several people reached out and said, boy, me like what you said last night because I'm Monday out of order, trying to make a false equivalency between the opposition he claimed is not good enough for Jamaica or not competent enough with the government saying that the government is not doing good or the government is not good, right? And we have a bonfire pan Dr. Michael Abrahams, where did sit down on the Madman channel in a COVID, a campaign against the government, and just through PNP not viable, him want to cuss PNP and cuss the government same time. And that is unfair and that is wrong because the government was duly elected by the people, chosen by the people, and for Abrahams to be doing that as an influential person, what he is anti-democratic. And we must call him on it. Okay? Nothing wrong with criticizing things that you don't agree with where the government is concerned. That's okay. But when you're going to try to put the opposition on the same scale as the government, sorry, when you're trying to put the government on the same scale as the opposition to make it seem like, oh, they're just two very incompetent organizations. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And Abrahams is nothing but upset because he would have preferred to see the PNP in government, but they're unviable and he cannot hide it. And he probably genuinely wants to see the opposition look better because him tell them, say if we not change, we're not going to be in opposition forever. Okay? So we saw what he was doing and we make him know, say, listen, from we see you come and try undermine Mr. Vegas and the work him put in at the culture and the music, and you try undermine the people that will get the award for contribute to the country, and you try undermine the whole process and the whole system. You is a wicked. You understand? And we see what you do, so we not pay you no mind. Where you say I go through midlife crisis? Lord have mercy, I go through something. God help him. But anyway, guys, let us leave it here. I am going to reach out to those ladies tomorrow because you guys have been asking about the war room and I have not talked to them about the war room in forever. So I'm going to reach out to them and see what they want to do. And if they say, yes, let's do it, then you will get a war room tomorrow. If not, you will just probably get me again. Hopefully that's okay with you guys. But have a good night. Thank you for joining, guys. Take care. Thank you for stopping by.
Bad mind will allow people to tell lie on you.
I am Dr. Dayton Campbell, General Secretary of the People's National Party.
Insecurity will allow people to tell lie on you.
I made statements on the political platform, which upon later reflection,
When they think that you are gifted and they see that you're anointed, talented, and their position could be at, they will tell lie on you.
as connecting the Honorable Darrell Vaz to the murder of Diane Smith, as well as an alleged plot to assassinate the then leader of the opposition, Mr. Andrew Holness.
Lord God.
I hereby unequivocally withdraw the statements I made.
If they think that you're occupying the position that they should be in, even though they are not qualified, they will tell lie on you.
Because to the best of my knowledge, the statements and/or innuendos and insinuations contained therein have no foundation in truth and are in fact categorically false.
Jesus.